Welcome to the Brand Wise podcast, where we talk about the big branding moves that business owners are making and the why behind it. I'm your host, Jess Freeman, here to help you be wise and be bold. Is your brand just blending into the noise of like Fitspo and recipe posts? Because in an industry where everyone's saying it depends, and in some case it does, having a real opinion isn't just bold, it is necessary in 2025. And let's think about how many times you've scrolled past another health pro's Instagram post about counting macros, getting Beachbody ready, and you're like, oh, it's so toxic. But then you show up just by posting generic content. We're going there today. Having opinions isn't just, being controversial or stirring up drama in your Instagram comments. I am not advocating that we put out mean girl energy. It is about building trust with your audience because they know exactly where you stand. We also want to create a brand that's impossible to ignore and fighting back against all the BS that's hurting your clients and their health. So by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly why your bold opinions matter, how to share them without feeling terrified, and I'm giving you 3 quick little plug and play prompts you can use this week to start just showing up more boldly. Because let's be real, the industry is crowded. And you know what most people are doing to stand out? Nothing. They're all doing the exact same thing. The same what I eat in a day post, the same 5 recipe swap post, the same before and after photos, and then wonder why potential clients can't tell the difference between a certified nutrition coach and someone who just finished a 2-week online course about macro counting. So here's something wild about opinions. They actually make you more trustworthy, not less. And we all know there is a massive amount of garbage advice floating around in the fitness and nutrition space. I'm talking about the 1,200 calorie diets being promoted as healthy, those stupid waist trainers that keep showing up in your feed and TikTok shop, the what I eat in a day post from people with 0 nutrition credentials. So when we stay quiet because we're afraid of ruffling feathers, we're basically giving those harmful messages our stamp of approval. Let me say that again. Your silence is being interpreted as an agreement. Now, maybe you're sitting there thinking, but my brand is all about positivity. I don't want to be negative. Having opinions doesn't mean being negative. It doesn't have to be a negative opinion about everything. It just means being clear. It means being honest. It means actually helping people instead of just trying to get more likes. So how do you figure out what exactly to take a stand on? Here's a quick guide. First, what makes you angry in your industry or your niche? What do you find yourself ranting about to your friends? Those conversations where you catch yourself saying, I can't believe people still think ... What questions do you wish your clients would stop asking? Because those questions are coming from somewhere, and that somewhere is probably what you need to speak out against. Now, here's the good part. When you take a bold stance, you automatically attract clients who align with your values. We've already seen some of this with all the political stuff going on. So let's say you're like a pre-postnatal fitness specialist. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, you could say, I believe that bouncing back after baby is toxic, and I help new moms rebuild their strength over the course of a year or 2 years without the pressure to look like they never gave birth. Will this upset some people? Yeah, probably. Will it make others feel very deeply seen and understood? Also, yes. And guess which ones are your ideal clients? And I know you're like, but what if I lose followers? What if someone argues with me? What if I'm wrong? And I want to tackle these. Losing followers who don't align with your values, that's not a loss. That's just a filter. It's just like when people unsubscribe from our email list. They weren't your ideal clients. And someone who argues, it's more engagement for the algorithm. And if it's something you really believe in, you have the knowledge to back it up. It's just Instagram comments. They're not going to be asking for a thesis on the thought you shared. And you also can just block them if they're being super negative. And if you're worried about being wrong, I know you do your research, and we know that research changes. Science changes, we get new developments, we get smarter. So if you're wrong or things change, you learn, you adjust, and you share that journey because transparency builds trust. Now, I'm going to give you those prompts I was talking about. So pull out your notes app in your phone. Obviously, tweak this to fit your voice. But first, I have a caption template. The fitness or nutrition myth that needs to die. And then you insert the myth here. Here's why it's garbage, and then list, 2 or 3 points and what you should do instead. And then that's where you kind of list out your approach. So for example, you could do this on the no pain, no gain way of thinking. Or maybe you think burpees need to be tossed out the window. Maybe you think protein is overrated, whatever it is. So that's the first one. The next one, I'm going to do an email prompt. So the subject line could be something like the truth nobody is talking about when it comes to, and then insert topic. Example, the truth about protein shakes that nobody's talking about. And then in the email, you open with a story about a client who is confused about this topic. You drop your truth, the research you know. You back it up with your experience, the knowledge. Give them one simple action step. And then that's it. And finally, I want to give you a Threads prompt. If you're not on Threads, which I highly recommend, I love it, just use this for another social media post, or you can make it longer for a second email. Really, this could kind of go anywhere. Start with unpopular opinion, and then just let it go. Just follow it with whatever you feel like your unpopular opinion is. But also give some actionable advice to actually help people who are reading it. So, for example, unpopular opinion, your clean eating obsession is actually disordered eating in disguise. And then a thread on what healthy eating actually looks like. And then go into whatever it is that you recommend. Now, here's the thing about these opinions. They do need to be backed by a brand that walks the talk. It's like showing up to teach a fitness class in flip-flops. Something feels off. I don't think we can do Pilates or Zumba in flip-flops. So I want to help you do a quick brand check also. So think about your website or your Instagram. If you're still on your phone, you can pull up your Instagram right now. Does your messaging match your mission? If you're all about fighting diet culture, but your website still talks about getting lean, we have a problem. We need to tweak some messaging. We want the Instagram and website to feel cohesive as people move between them. And here's something really cool that happens when your brand actually reflects your opinions. You get braver. It's like when you wear the right outfit to a presentation, when you wear, a nice business casual outfit instead of sweats, you just show up differently and your audience can feel it. They can tell when you're fully stepping into your message versus when you're trying to hide behind safe vanilla content. And again, it's not about being controversial or mean. It's about being honest. It's about actually helping people. It's about creating change in an industry that needs some help. Because every time you water down your message because you're scared of pushback, someone out there who needs to hear the actual truth is missing out. Now, I'm not letting you leave without taking some action. So here's what I want you to do this week, sometime in the next 3 or 4 days. Pick one of those content prompts that I just gave you, write it out or type it out, whatever. Post it within 24 hours and then tag me. Send it to me in a DM or an email, whatever you want, so I can come hype you up or share your post for you. And if your brand you feel is not ready to support your bold opinions, maybe it's time for a rebrand. Maybe you need a full messaging makeover to really step into that next iteration of your business. I just want you to remember, though, that your opinion might be the exact thing that someone needs to hear today to break free from toxic fitness or diet culture. Your voice matters, your expertise matters, and your willingness to take a stand might just change someone's life. And I don't want you to forget that.
Are you a squiggle or a square? Go to justcreatives.com/quiz to find out where your brand ends up and find out what a square or squiggle even means. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to leave a review or share it on Instagram, and tune in next week for another episode.